How's it going, everybody? I'm glad you could join us today for a short Bible study. We're going to be in Ephesians chapter 5, and we're going to look at a couple things that hopefully will give you some things to think about during this time when we have more time to think about things. So somebody asked me yesterday if I thought this was God's judgment, and the answer to that is yes and no. All illness is a result of sin, and so it's a consequence of sin. Do I believe that God sent this plague to remind us of something? I don't know, but I know that he'll use it for things to remind us of what's important in life. And also maybe it's good to have a reminder that sometimes the things that we depend on and we count on are not permanent and are not things that we should be placing a lot of our hope in. You know, one of the big things I think we'll get from this is that we're not really going to know the full scale of what's going to happen or how deadly this disease is until we're able to look back with clarity. So you're not going to have all the answers right now, but there are some things that we can do right now to be ready and so that we can look back on it. So Ephesians chapter 5, beginning in verse 13, it says, "Everything exposed by the light is made clear. For what makes everything clear is light. Therefore it is said, 'Get up, sleeper, and rise up from the dead, and the Messiah will shine on you.'" So there's different ways that we see light. Light comes to expose our sinfulness, to turn us to God. Jesus is the light. But we also have light, which sometimes the Bible uses as an acronym for information, that things are exposed that were hidden. And right now, some of the things that we want answers to are hidden. And we won't have all the answers until maybe down the road a bit. But then the Bible goes on to say in Ephesians, it says, pay careful attention then. So what it said, okay, because of these things, because it's going to be exposed, and because you're going to be able to look back, it says pay careful attention. So what do we pay careful attention to? Pay careful attention then to how you walk, not as unwise people, but as wise, making the most of the time because the days are evil. So, you know, if I had come up to each of you and asked you 3 weeks ago, hey, how's it going? 98% of you would have said, dude, we're busy, man. We got baseball practices. We got things at school. We got this coming up. We're doing that. We got blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? Now we're not. Now we have time that we didn't have a few weeks ago. So now the question is, how do we pay careful attention then during this time to the time, because the days are evil? But here's how we do it. I'm not saying that you tell your kids, all right, no more games for y'all for 4 months. We're going to read the Bible 24 hours a day. What I am saying is that some of those things that maybe you would have thought, we don't really have time to do that right now, or I wish we could do that, or here's something that would be great for our family. Here's something that would be great for me personally. You do have time for it. And so at some point, you're going to be able to look back on this time when we're kind of isolated, when we're at home, when a lot of the things that keep us busy have been removed from our lives. And we're going to have to look back on this time and we're going to ask ourselves, okay, what did we do during that time? You know, did I sit around and watch Netflix on the couch all day, every day? Did I let the kids, sit in front of video games all day, every day? Or did we use that time to do something productive? Did we use that time to do some things that honor God, that maybe help the kids grow closer in their relationship, help me grow closer in my relationship with the Lord? We're going to be able to look back and see what we did during these times and whether or not we used that time wisely. Did we pay careful attention to how we walked during this time? You know, it's easy to just kind of get overwhelmed, watch the news 24 hours, do things to just entertain and to try to get through it. And there's part of that, I get it. I'm not saying you can't let your kids watch a movie or play a game or whatever, but what I am saying is to put some thought into it. You know, what are some things that we always say we don't have time to do, but now we do? You know, play some board games. Find some ways to get your kids to read a book or to read the Bible in particular. You know, do that for yourself. You know, one of the great advantages that we have, if you have an iPad or you have a smartphone or whatever, is that you can download books right onto those things and read them. And what are some books maybe that would help you in your walk with the Lord or help you individually that you could spend some time reading during these days when we don't have all these things to do? You know, the thing about it is that we do have a limited amount of time. And sometimes it seems like our time's really limited because it's all of it's taken up with certain things. But now for a lot of us, you have been given time back that you didn't have before. So you can either choose to take that time and to worry about everything that's going on and what's going to happen 3 weeks from now, or you could look at that time and say, you know what, I'm going to use it in a way that honors God, that will help our family. And you know what, you might even be able to build some habits into your family that later on, when things do get back to normal, you start saying, you know what, we're not going to go back to that. You know, maybe what if you took some time in the evening where everybody in your family read the Bible, or you know, you watched a movie or something that was about something biblical. You know, there's lots of ways you can do that. Or maybe somebody in your family reads to the rest of you. You know, maybe it's out of a book of the Bible. You know, I'd encourage you, if you want something that moves fast, read through one of the Gospels or read Acts. And go through and read that out loud and then discuss it and talk about it, or whatever else might encourage your family to walk with the Lord. So that's my encouragement to you this week. Just remember this phrase. Pay careful attention then to how you walk, not as unwise people, but as wise, making the most of the time. So make the most of this time that you have, so that someday when all this is over and you can look back, you're going to have a greater understanding about what was going on, but you're also going to be able to look back and think, you know what? I didn't waste that time. I did something with it. I used it to glorify and honor the Lord. I used it to build our family, to build my walk with the Lord. And then you'll be able to look back with some satisfaction and be proud to have the light shine on it, because the things that you did during this time were things that made a difference going forward. That's all I got for today. We'll be praying for you, and we'll see you on Thursday. Have a good one.